Jake Sanderson.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
You're Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome. You are listening to the postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and, of course, the Glebe Central Pub. Check out the GCP where the vibes are free at 779 Bank Street and find all October Sens shuttle tickets available on their website. And that includes Monday for the home opener. Pillsy, Marshy will be with Sue, and all you sickos cannot wait for the home schedule to open. And it also means turning the page from what we watched tonight. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller and Lalim's Martian. 6-2 is the final score. And Pillsy, I would even say that's flattering based on how stretches of that game went.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely a garbage goal by Shane Pinto near the end there. His second of the game, his second 2-goal game performance in the second game of the season. So Shane Pinto is making sure his dollars are going to add up by the time contract extension happens. But here we are, postcast. You guys know the quote, we vent to revive. We got the vibe last time. This time, we're venting it out.
I called it getting humbled in
Yes,
the final
big time
tweet at SensCentral. You come back against a great team in Tampa. You go down 2-0 and 3-1 again. I felt the story was going to play over. I thought it'd be Nick Jensen instead of Artem Zub, get the defensive defenseman to start things up. But it came crashing down, and there are common threads between the two games that need to be fixed if the Sens are going to get back on track. I will end today's show with a positive spin. We're all too mad for that right now. Martian, I bet you're mad that you pulled this game instead of Thursday's opener for your lead postcast of the season.
I know it's tough to start the season down 0-1 immediately here. It really sad I had to miss that first one with my own beer league game happening right coinciding with the postcast schedule. But yeah, boys, I mean, it's great to be back though. I'm still here. I'm back again. I was in free agency for a little bit, but we're right back into the postcast here. I got the deal I wanted, a little bit of a hometown discount.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to be coming in hot all season here on the postcast. And it's like your fourth season with us, so it would have been absolutely absurd had it gone any other direction. And I'm adding this up right now. You are at 152 appearances on the postcast. So a true veteran of the game. So you've covered a few of these stinkers.
I've covered more than a few stinkers. I've covered many stinkers over
Mark
the years.
Ahmad has the record to prove it. Martian, you and I think, have covered the longest stretch of worst games. So it's nice to bring Ross along for this ride.
Yeah.
So the penalty kill is what everyone's talking about. The chat's buzzing. Has been throughout the game too. So we put the link up earlier on in the day. Great place to watch the game. We appreciate everybody jumping in the chat, the citizens who were vibing as though it was like playoff hunt after the first game of the season. How much of that confidence has disappeared with how tonight's game went, Pilsy?
I don't want to say all of it because I think Tampa is a bit of a better measuring stick team than the defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Even though they're without their captain and without Matthew Tkachuk, I thought it would be an easier experience, but they were showing on the broadcast, the Ottawa Senators haven't won in Florida, I think since it was 2021, was it?
Yeah, it was right before the turn of the year.
Yeah.
And I remember posting a photo of Spencer Knight laid out in like halfway between his crease and the blue line after like the 6th or the 7th goal. I think it was one of those where we beat him up too bad, kind of like Pittsburgh game 3. Like if you don't chase Fleury, does that series go a different direction? Tonight's game, you couldn't have seen it going another direction unless you get some stops on the penalty kill. Pills, it's not even just the diamond, it's everything right now that's going wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what formation you use if you're just standing around and watching things happen. Like that's the thing. I think the Ottawa Senators, their defense when the media and fans get on them about the diamond is, well, look around the league. So many other teams use the diamond and successful. Cool, but it's not working for us, and everyone's so passive on this penalty kill. It's got to be the worst penalty kill of the short year so far. But
for sure.
if they want to do Martian, I don't know what shapes you like. If you like boxes, triangles, pentagons, hexagons, stars, whatever shape you can make. If you're just standing there, standing still, other teams' power plays are going to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, give me a nice aggressive box, boys. That's what we're looking for here. Like, just give me a box that's sound. You collapse when you need to, but it's simple, right? The diamond, I don't know what it is about the diamond. It just allows too many shots. And I think they were talking about it on the broadcast today too. There's so many good shooters in this league now that, once you allow people to kind of walk in, if you're not aggressive enough to kind of take away that time and space, they're going to rip shots on you. And that's when you find, like, Ullmark. I mean, he was swimming tonight too, and your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender. And he definitely was not that tonight. But when you continuously put yourself in the position to be down a man and you're not confident in your structure as like last game, right? It went from a very passive diamond to all of a sudden it looked much better once they got a little bit more aggressive. They need to stick with the aggressiveness. And I think, man, they got to switch to the box. They got to switch to something that every player is used to doing. It's way more easy to, have your man and be in the right position when you're in that kind of box structure. So for me, that diamond's got to go. I know, like, everybody says, oh, it's not the diamond. It's more about how they're playing the diamond. Well, if they can't play the diamond, then let's simplify this thing and let's get them going in the box again.
Yeah, they're pressuring well up top, but in turn, they're giving so much space to the two flank players, and those are the most talented finishers on every team.
I would argue they're not even pressuring that well up top, Ross, because Petrie and Ekblad both got goals from wrist shots
for sure,
basically at the blue line.
Yeah, no, they did have a couple turnovers at the same time, though, where they did go the other way. And that third power play goal, the one where it's already garbage time, Timmy can't miss the net far side when you're down a man on an odd man rush. You can't do it. It goes the other way, and it's in the back of your net.
Yeah, he rimmed that thing all the way around. But yeah, back to the diamond, like, just being at the top there. The whole idea is to have that guy in the diamond be that high guy and be able to kind of, be up around those point men. But look how much time those guys had when they actually released that puck. Like, whoever's playing the top of the diamond was nowhere to be seen for Ekblad's goal. Like, he had all the time in the world to let that thing go. He placed it perfectly. It was a great shot. That was actually probably the one goal where I look at, for Ullmark's sake, like, he really had no chance on that one. He couldn't see anything. But man, like, they got to figure that out quickly, because you can't be going with below. I mean, it's got to be below 40% kill rate at this point now, Ross, right? What are we at here? Like 30% now after that last goal?
It was a little cheeky because they scored once on the double minor, but not the second one.
Right.
So you get the 50% on that, which actually improves their season total.
I was going to say that's a good thing.
The kill 3 for 8 this year.
Yeah. Got to be above 50%. That's
even higher than that.
Put that on a quote card.
That's got to be a goal we're going for. Yeah,
we got to get the PK over 50%, and then we'll reevaluate once we get there. But let's hit half the time killing off PKs. Martian mentioned Linus Ullmark. I'm split with my feelings. Of course, the numbers are awful. Mm-hmm. He's made some big saves and then looked so shaky on routine shots. I'm very confused by him so far this season.
Yeah, I think the thing you got to remember with Ullmark is when, the Sens needed wins last season, he was incredible for long stretches of the year. And he definitely had games last year too where he didn't look amazing either. So I'm not by any means worried about Linus Ullmark. It's more that penalty kill for me at this point. And just sort of maybe trying to get some of those bigger guys on the team going as well. Like, Stützle was a non-factor tonight. Tkachuk was a non-factor tonight. And that's probably more of a credit to Florida than anything. They're without 2 of their big boys over on their side. And the Sens big boys just didn't show up to play like they should have, I think. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. It was just one game here, boys. I think Ullmark's going to bounce back. But the home opener is going to be a different story. Like, that's a game you come in there, you got to win that one, boys. We're going to be in the building, Pills, you and I. it's gonna suck to not have Ross there. But I mean, with that whole situation, like you can't worry too much about Linus Ullmark, I don't think.
I won't say I'm worried about Linus Ullmark, but I think it's fair to say I'm not confident in him. I mean, look, Brad Marchand, you got to tip your cap to him. He races that puck, gets the breakaway, but two guys chasing him, pulls off a nice deke. But what the heck is Ullmark trying to do with that dive? Like, I feel like that was Marchand's only option, was to go backhand, and Ullmark awkwardly dives. Okay, whatever. It's a breakaway. You can't put that all in the goalie. Cool. Next goal. How about instead of flashing the leather like your
Patty Waugh in the playoffs?
Total flashback.
Yeah, I didn't know what reference to use, so thanks for jumping in.
Dude, you
there,
got
Ross.
so many shapes, man. You've done all your education for this podcast.
We got diamonds, we got squares, we got.
You pulled
If
out
I'm the one
hexagons.
educating people on this podcast, we got a big issue here. But like we don't need to be flashing the leather like that and scoring on yourself. Let's cut that out of the game also. And I don't know, at that point, it was really tough for me to have faith. But when Shane Pinto scored, I was like, here we go again. Ross, what's the stat?
No, not today.
Maybe I think there's an asterisk on that stat, Ross, if it's up against defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
And if he scores 2 goals instead of 1.
Yeah, well, we got the 2-point stat going too. 15-3-3 now, and Pinto has 2 points in a game. Okay, so those are the main things that have to improve, I would say. Is that fair? Penalty kill and the goaltending.
Pinto got 2 goals, not just 2 points, guys.
Yeah, but the stat I'm keeping that I mentioned is that first Senator, according to the broadcast tonight, to start the season with back-to-back multi-goal games.
Wow. Bump that contract extension to $9 million, Ross, or what?
Well, it's a great tease. If you missed yesterday's episode, go check it out. Everywhere you get podcasts, we got comparable for Shane Pinto, and get to that episode before it ages, because if he keeps scoring 2 goals a game, we joked he was on pace for 164 goals. Well, he still is after 2 games this season. On the other side, we got our SensCentral Standouts. We'll get to the chat, get what your thoughts are on tonight's game. Senators lose 6-2. The final score against the Florida Panthers. Shots on goal favor Ottawa, 28-27. They had a little bit of a barrage at the end of the game to pull ahead there in garbage time. Power play, already been discussed, but the Panthers go 3 for 5. Ottawa 0 for 2. Sens snap back 67% in the faceoff dot. Good night there. Senators have 17 blocks to 7 for Florida, and the hits 28-27 in favor of the Panthers. Standouts, rather, on the other side. Fired up, man. Postcast season on Locked On Senators.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NFL season and NHL season is here, and FanDuel's making sure you're ready for every kickoff and puck drop with a can't-miss offer. If you haven't joined, no worries, guys, because right now is a great time to join. New customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love FanDuel. Ross loves FanDuel. Martian loves FanDuel, and you should too, because FanDuel fits however you want to bet. Player props, shots, hits, you got it. Building a same game parlay, Pillsy's parlay of the day, anyone? Or jumping in live as the action unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the best way to add a little more energy to all your favorite sporting events. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
And Pillsy, Martian, want to get you boys in on our chat about the Glebe Central Pub. Pillsy, what's the plan for Monday at 779 Bank Street?
So Monday is your Ottawa Senators home opener. You know the Glebe Central Pub has the shuttle going, $18 for a round trip from the shuttle to the CTC and back. You can't beat that. Good luck trying to get an Uber that'll do that, or get in your buddy's car and have to pitch for gas, parking, and many other things. $18 is your best deal. The bus is going to leave the pub for the rink at 11:30. I'm trying to get there for like 10:30-ish. We'll see what time Martian rolls out of bed, if we can make that happen. And then after the game, to celebrate a 5th straight home opener win, we'll bring the vibes back to the GCP. How does that sound, Marshy?
it's a beautiful thing when you ride with the GCP boys. And once you get back to that pub, you get those ice cold, crispy beers going. You get the vibes with all the Sens fans after a big Sens W. There's nothing like it. It's an unbelievable experience. I highly recommend it. So keep it going here with the GCP.
And they've got something every night, including Saturday. So going on right now, but every Saturday, live music at the Glebe Central Pub with no cover ever. So get to the GCP where the vibes are free at 779 Bank Street and let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. All right, boys. The Ottawa Senators fall 6-2. We've got a nice mix in the chat tonight of early panic, calm, zen behavior. We split Florida, 1-1 coming home.
That's what I wanted to get to. Like, if you would have told us before the season started, we split in Florida, I think no matter which way it would have happened, we would have been happy. Now, would we want one of those losses to be 6-2? No. But 1-1 coming home up against Nashville, not terrible.
Maybe that's the cost of getting that late goal on Thursday so that you keep your divisional opponent Tampa from getting even a point in that game.
Yes,
you just had to take a bit more of a uppercut to the chin tonight, as the Senators did. I think it would be a dishonest assignment to each pick a SensCentral standout in tonight's game. Do we all think that's fair?
I think, because there's probably
one standout.
There's probably only I could maybe point to two guys, and then the third guy is going to get rinsed with whoever they end up with. There's really not a lot of positives out of this one, unfortunately.
Well, your first postcast of the season, Martian. Go ahead. Who is your SensCentral standout tonight in a 6-2 loss?
You know what? I'm gonna go with a guy who was a non-goal scorer in this game. So yeah, there was only one goal scorer, as we know, that being Shane Pinto. I'm gonna leave him for one of you guys. He's got it all, but I'm actually gonna go with Dylan Cousins for my SensCentral standout. My first of the season here. I just thought he had just a solid game all around, and I'm seeing a little bit of that difference in what he looks like on the ice physically. There's definitely he gained some weight, and he's playing. I tweeted it out earlier. He's playing just more of a power game for me, and I'm really enjoying watching the way he's playing. And I don't think he's got the best line mates in the world. I could see him possibly moving up if Batherson isn't. Apparently, he's a right winger now, according to Kevin Bieksa. But I would like to see him kind of maybe get mixed up and down the lineup a little bit more. You need to get Stützle going. I don't know what you do, but for me, with Nick or Dylan Cousins, I'm sorry, he was just so solid all around. He's getting shots on net. He's carrying the mail. He's, like I said, playing that power game, getting the puck to the net. And I felt like he just had a solid game here tonight. I like the way he looks.
Yeah, he's big right shot centerman, and getting to the net is going to be critical for him to add another tool to his box and try to get back to that 30-goal level that he achieved once so far in his career. I'm glad you brought up that comment, though, by Kevin Bieksa in intermission. And on about Dylan Cousins and how a move to center to start the season will do him so much good.
What are we doing here? Like, this is your job to know what these guys do and where they're positioned. Like everybody in the chat right now knows that Dylan Cousins didn't play a single shift at right wing last year.
Correct.
And if you don't know, that's okay. Like, you covered the NHL nationally, but don't make that your main point. Like, just talk about his play or something.
With that, it wasn't even the most egregious thing that he said that made me spit my drink out. Said Sens PK was good last year.
I heard that too.
Sens PK was good last year. We've seen not under 50%, but we saw the 19th ranked penalty kill in the league last year. So I don't know if I'd go so far.
That's almost as bad as him giving Timmy a hard time for being too physical in the playoffs. Yeah, you wouldn't want a guy throwing too many hits in the playoffs.
Yes, and then we told Brady that stat, didn't tell him who said it, and he's like, "Yeah, someone who didn't play the game, not a hard-nosed defenseman. Come on."
Yeah, I got to bring back the inner Martians for the Sportsnet broadcast, because they're so nonsense. Like, I'm not saying they're nonsense, but they're just sense neglect. They're so not paying attention to us that
they're nonsense.
They can't even give good insight, right? It's like it's pretty sad to see.
Yeah, it is tough. And the out-of-town scoreboard was tough, but we're not going to dive into that. It is a little early in the season. Boys.
Very early in the season.
The home opener is coming up. And Shane Pinto has a chance to go 3 straight games, multi-goal games. Billsy, why is he a SensCentral standout in tonight's game?
You guys tag team it.
He's the only one in my mind that played well. I'll hear Martian's points about Dylan Cousins not being terrible, but I didn't really like anyone's game other than Pinto here. Like, Pinto could have had a hat trick if his stick doesn't shatter on him on that breakaway. I bet he would have scored that. He's just got the hot stick. Maybe it's so hot it just burned apart there on him at the worst time.
Great feeds by Claude Giroux on both of those springs.
Yeah, true. He had the other breakaway that he wasn't able to capitalize. I mean, he's in the corner and he just throws it to the net and it goes off Ekblad skating in. Like, anything this guy touches right now is turning into gold. He was 8 for 10 in the face-off dot. I don't have his other stats. I swear NHL.com does this to me every single postcast. As soon as we're doing SensCentral standouts, the box score bugs out and just goes to blank all over. Okay, it's not just me. But the face-offs I did see, I had it saved. So he went 8 for 10. You got to love that. But overall, anytime Pinto was on the ice, I felt like the Ottawa Senators at least had a chance to do something. And finishing +1 in a 6-2 loss, I know there's power play points involved. That doesn't affect the plus-minus, but that's always nice too.
Yeah, he was 58% expected goals for, which was the 4th best on the team behind Nicholas Matinpalo, who led the team. It's great for Nicholas Matinpalo, not great for the Ottawa Senators. David Perron 2nd and Michael Amadio in 3rd. I'll let everybody guess who was dead last because we have to have a conversation about it next. You're listening to Locked On Senators, your team every day.
Oh, my God.
Welcome back to the postcast. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller and Laleem's Martian. You can find the links to our social pages below in the description. You can also find daily episodes of Locked On Senators wherever you get your podcast. Take us on the go with you or join us on YouTube. We go live after every Ottawa Senators game. Boys, I'll admit I got caught up in the excitement of having a tough guy.
Dude.
I don't know if he's an NHL player, guys.
Dude, he took his first shift of the game tonight, and I didn't notice him last game because he only, he got in that fight and he only played 2 minutes. But like, I saw him lumbering around out there and just oafing it up, and I was just like, "Who the hell is 23 and what is he doing out there?" Like, this guy,
he's laboring,
possibly the worst skating stride I've ever seen in my life on an NHL ice surface. I watched Brian McGrattan. That guy couldn't skate either, but at least he could tilt it up with the best of them. This guy is horrible. And then I know he's not here to play hockey, guys, but when you ice the puck against that line, and then they throw out their big boys and they're hemmed in and he's standing completely still at the top of the defensive zone.
And did you see him directing traffic? That got me laughing the most.
He's in no man's land, just standing there.
I don't mean to laugh.
I was just like, it'll be a miracle if they can't score. It was a full-blown power play with him out there. Like, I've never seen such a pathetic looking player when it comes to playing hockey. And like I said, we know he's not here to play hockey, but my goodness, boys, I was laughing at how horrible he looked. Like he
makes $1 million a year.
He looks like Happy Gilmore out there.
Hey, I know you guys are down on him, but
did he make a good play you love?
Whoa, hold up. Go watch his hockey fights. He wins most of his fights. Sure, he lost one to a player playing in his first NHL game and first NHL shift and first NHL fight. Not a great look. But like, Zach McEwen wasn't doing a whole lot for you. Like, if you were going to have a guy like that, you might as well have a mutant that can't skate or do anything else. But when he's supposed to fight, at least he doesn't embarrass himself. I know the first fight he already had didn't go great, but that guy was 6'9", 250 pounds. I mean, absolute mutant. So we'll forgive him there. But I will say, this is not a player you should be putting up against the Stanley Cup defending champions, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Like he's got to be a plug and play guy that if you go look at his games played season by season, it's usually in the low 20s, and that's for a reason. And I think New Jersey Devils fans, when I retweeted, hey, love this trade, they were quick to be like, look, this guy sucks at hockey. And so that tweet of me saying, great trade, love this, moving in the right direction, might age poorly, but I'm still not out on Curtis McDermott yet. We have to remember what he was brought here to do, and it wasn't to direct traffic up against other teams' top lines after an icing.
The only problem, on that note, is my video. You think a tweet's gonna age poorly? The video I made, it sounded like we landed the top free agent.
Oh my god, I know.
I was like, Curtis McDermott's an Ottawa Senator. Hey, we'll always have the video of him tripping over the cup.
It's also it's a bad time to play him too, because Florida doesn't have anybody who's like a designated fighter that he can go with, or like a big boy who's
they can play, dude. AJ Greer.
Then why is he in the lineup? That's the perfect time to put that Lixell guy in there. Like, I'd like to take a look at him. Now, here's a hot take. I think for the home opener, you keep McDermott in.
See, nice. There we go. Nice
that's
try.
The crazy thing. Yep. I think that if he gets in there and he grabs somebody on Nashville and he just pummels them, that'll be the perfect juice that the team needs, that the building might need to get fired up and going. So I see the vision. It wasn't there tonight, boys. I mean, my goodness, it was so sad.
Yeah. So we're putting this 6-2 loss on Curtis McDermott. Am I hearing that right?
No. But his fight against Michael McCarron on Monday is going to be sick. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be like, it's gonna have to happen. I feel bad for Lixell having to sit in the press box and watch that.
That's what you feel bad for in this call.
Well, imagine you're an actual hockey player and you're and you're watching this guy take up 7 minutes of ice time and he can barely move. I mean,
you're like, this guy makes more than me.
I hope to God that Curtis McDermott doesn't see these clips, because he's gonna probably come over and kick my butt. But I mean, for Ollie Lixell, that's got to be hard to watch. But there are other lineup changes that need to happen too for that home opener as well, right?
Yeah,
Bill?
I want to. Jordan Spence has to be in the lineup.
Yeah,
that's number one. Batherson, fine. We got to get him back for the home opener. I like Michael Amadio, but not a guy that should be in your top 6. No offense to him.
Imagine a lineup. Close your eyes and imagine your happy place to go back to.
Another Happy Gilmore
reference. Take McDermott out of the lineup and put Drake Batherson in.
Yeah,
that's a real hockey team.
That feels good. Yeah,
and man, like Jordan Spence sitting up in the press box has got to be like, what's going on here? Like, why?
Let's get into that though.
Okay, let's get into it like this. Why are coaches so married to having two right shot, or a lefty and a righty? Why won't they have two guys who shoot the same way on the same pair? I don't get why Matt and Palo can't play the left side. If you're like, I think he probably is in the lineup before Sabrango. So why not just have Matt and Palo play the left side? It's not like he's there to like really move the puck a whole lot.
Yeah, and I hear you, Rod. I just like I get it though. It's just like in certain situations when you're along the boards, if you're on the wrong side, it becomes a lot more difficult to control the puck, especially keeping pucks in the zone and then also, clearing the puck out of the zone and picking the puck off the wall. Like if you're on your backhand all the time and you don't have the best hands in the world and you don't practice it on that side, then and with the way the NHL is right now and how fast it is, it just becomes so difficult, I think, for these guys to be able to actually get the puck to their forehand and make a play. And I think a guy like Matt and Palo, like he would probably struggle, I think, with being on the left side. I think we did see it a little bit last year, and I know he's probably not looked at as like the best puck handler even on his good side, but we got to get Jordan Spence in there.
Yeah.
And we got to get Tyler Clevin healthy. I think if Clevin comes back in and then we insert Jordan Spence, and you can kind of have a little bit more flexibility with and I don't think Jensen looked specifically very good either. I know he was a +1 here tonight, but I don't think he's looking quite himself even yet, and that's justified because of the injury he just came off of. But you can mix up those lineups a little bit. Like you get Spence in there and you put him with Shabbat. That top pair isn't going to stay the same. You go Shabbat and Spence, and then you go Clevin and Jensen. And to me, that looks like probably optimal for the Sens with their current setup.
Yeah, so I just put whatever you need to do to get Spence in. I wouldn't start him with Shabbat. I like having, if Clevin's not there, I'd probably move Matt and Palo over. That would be my call and just go with 2 righties on the bottom pair. But it's good, and I said this on yesterday's show, that the third pair has been an issue, and it's not what we expect it will be throughout the majority of the season. The Sens don't have to go out at externally to try to fix that problem. There's in-house solutions, health permitted. I'm just seeing some comments saying McDermott's not there to play hockey. The reason why we bring it up, and I do feel bad, it is funny, but I feel bad. Scoring chances in the 6 minutes he was on the ice were 5-1 for Florida, and the shot attempts were 12-4, dead last on the team for the Senators. So, like, you got to be at least close to 50-50 when your fourth line's out there. I know it's a tough matchup on the road in Florida, then he shouldn't be in the lineup for that game. Pillsy, any final thoughts? We're going to have an early drop, by the way, for Monday's show.
Only final thoughts for me is tomorrow is one of my favorite events of the year, Pillsy's pilgrimage to the nation's capital. I love it. It's a 6-hour drive, so a bit of a grind, but the foliage is absolutely beautiful. I take the back way, none of this 401. Yeah, a little more orange, yellow, and red than what you got back there, Marshy. And I will be staying at the Martian Manitic Mansion during my time there. So it's going to be a great trip.
Yeah, you guys can have some stepbrother time.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, you're going to have major FOMO over there, Ross. I
already do.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to have Pillsy over here and show him the new place. And I got, my family Thanksgiving tomorrow in the afternoon as well. So I'm going to be doing that. And then Pillsy, I'm going to rush home, meet Pillsy here, and then we'll let the festivities begin. It's going to be a great little sports long weekend here.
Yeah, we'll have a postcast for you Monday afternoon, and we will be recording it throughout the day tomorrow right before Pillsy leaves. So we'll probably have like a 8 or 9 p.m. drop on YouTube, but stay tuned for that, and the audio will drop as well. We want to make sure that you guys have the show for you. If you're waking up in the morning and you want to get ready, go to the rink. Usually we post around noon, so a 1 p.m. start. Let's get this content out to you guys as soon as possible. Martian, great having you back, man. The three of us, we've done this now 71 times together. The record's not great, boys. 29, 36, and 6 when the three of us are rocking the postcast. Buck writes in, Matt Sogard, Carter Yakubchuk tonight. Yikes. Quick note on Belleville. We'll talk about it more on Monday's show. But yeah, did not go their way in the season opener. They lose 5-2 to Adirondack, and they scored 4 goals in their first 10 shots. I want to go and watch before I comment too much because we're obviously watching Ottawa's game tonight, but not a great start for the Belleville Sens. This is a night you wash your hands with in the organization, both levels, and we get ready for the home opener where it's going to be an electric atmosphere. It's going to be an absolute blast, and can't wait to see and feel the energy from so far away, knowing how much of a good time you boys are having. Shout out to everyone in the chat for getting all these takes together. We appreciate the passion and consistency that you guys show, and we wouldn't be here without you. And for more, you can follow us on social media at SensCentral on Twitter and at Laleem's Martian. For the Martian and Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the postcast for a 6-2 Senators loss to the Florida Panthers. Shane Pinto with 2 goals in this game. Claude Giroux, Ridley Gregg get the assists. Linus Ullmark, a .778 save percentage. He allowed 6 goals on 27 shots. This has been the postcast. We're a part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.